Welcome back to the Motor City Mama Show. I'm your host, Kara, and today's episode is close to my heart. It's not just about places I went, but the people who shaped me, the lessons I carry, and the memories that still bring me comfort. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, maybe a little sweet tea, and come along with me on this journey through Cherokee, Maggie Valley, Pigeon Forge, and the stops in between. I left Maggie Valley with the windows cracked, that crisp mountain air pouring in. The road wound back and forth, up and down, like the mountains themselves were deciding how much they wanted to show me at a time. It's the kind of drive where you can't help but think about family, about the ones who rode these roads before you. I could almost hear Peppa's voice pointing out the ridges, or Mama humming in the seat beside me. By the time I reached Cherokee, I already felt like I'd traveled not just miles, but years. The first stop was Cherokee, North Carolina. Walking into one of the shops there, I was hit by the familiar smell: leather, sweetgrass, and cedar. It reminded me of being a little girl holding Mama's hand as we wandered through similar shops years ago. I remember once tugging on her sleeve, asking if our relatives that still lived on the reservation lived in teepees. I'll never forget the way she stopped, turned to me with that patient look only a grandmother can give, and said, "Honey, no, that's something you see in the movies. Our people live in houses just like us." From Cherokee, I made my way back to Maggie Valley to see the remains of Ghost Town in the sky. Now, Ghost Town isn't what it used to be. The silence sits heavy where laughter and cowboy gunfights once echoed. But for me, those ruins hold a treasure chest of memories. I can still see Peppa standing there many years ago, pointing up towards the mountain. He'd helped build parts of Ghost Town back in the day, and he'd tell us stories about the long hours and heavy lifting, the pride he felt watching those families line up to ride the chairlift. As a kid, I thought he was larger than life, like he'd built the whole place himself. And in a way, he had, at least in my heart. Walking among the crumbling walls now, I whispered a thank you. Thank you, Peppa, for building memories, not just attractions. From there, I headed toward the Hulk Hogan store. I didn't expect it to be emotional, but outside there were flowers laid out, a memorial of sorts. People left notes, little tributes, flowers, and even action figures. Standing there, I realized how much of our childhoods are tied to these larger-than-life figures. To some, Hulk Hogan was just a wrestler, but to others, he was strength, resilience, the belief that heroes could exist. Now, you can't go through the Smokies without a little fun, so of course, I had to stop at the Cooter store. So if you grew up with the Dukes of Hazzard, you know that grin you get just seeing the General Lee on display. It felt like stepping straight into a Saturday night from my childhood. And right next door, well, temptation called me into the Moonshine Depot. Rows of mason jars lined up like candy, and I couldn't resist. I walked out with a bottle of Biggin's watermelon moonshine. Next, I rolled into Pigeon Forge. Neon lights flashing, music spilling out onto the sidewalks, and the hum of families making memories. It's always alive and always buzzing. But I knew where I was headed: Paula Dean's restaurant overlooking the island. I ordered a plate of chicken and dumplings and sat there watching the fountains dance, the Ferris wheel light up, and thought, this is what traveling is all about. Finding pieces of comfort in new places, tying them back to the ones we love. And no road trip is complete without one last stop at Buc-ee's. If you know, you know. The first thing you notice is the sheer size, rows and rows of gas pumps stretching out like a football field. Then you walk inside and the smell hits you. The smell of barbecue brisket, fresh fudge, and roasted nuts. Vacuum so clean, you feel bad walking on the floor. So I grabbed a brisket sandwich, a pound of fudge, and headed home. I felt full, not just from the food, but from the memories. Full of Mama's lessons, full of Peppa's stories, full of laughter, nostalgia, and maybe a little bit of watermelon moonshine. Before I go, I want to take a moment to remember the people of North Carolina and Tennessee who are still dealing with the destruction left behind by the hurricane. These mountains, these towns, they're not just vacation spots, they're homes. They're filled with families who built their lives here, and they need our love, support, and prayers now more than ever. If you're able, I encourage you to find a way to help, whether it's through donations, volunteering, or simply keeping these communities in your heart. Because the mountains have given us so much beauty, and now it's our turn to give something back. Thanks for riding along with me today. This journey wasn't just about the places, but about remembering the people who built the road before me. I hope you carry your own memories close and make time to build new ones along the way. Until next time, this is your Motor City Mama signing off.
In September of 2024, Hurricane Helene roared through the heart of Appalachia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia. Homes were swept away, businesses crumbled, entire communities were left in ruins. Families lost everything, their lives forever altered by a storm that no one saw coming. Last year, when the waters receded and the world turned its gaze elsewhere, the Moonshine Militia refused to look away. We packed up our cars and our trucks, and we rallied our community and made the journey to the Ozark Moonshine and Music Festival in Clinton, Arkansas. There, we collected supplies, blankets, food, and clothes, and delivered them straight to the heart of the destruction. It's 2025 now. The cameras are gone, relief funds have dried up, but for thousands of families across Appalachia, the struggle continues. Kids are without schools, parents are without homes, and grandparents are without hope. They've been forgotten by many, but we will never forget them. This year, the Moonshine Militia is back, stronger than ever. We've teamed up with the Appalachian United Initiative, a group that's been on the ground since day one. Boots in the mud, hands helping, hearts open. They've been rebuilding homes, feeding families, and giving hope where hope is needed the most. Our next stop in this fight? We're headed back to the Ozark Moonshine and Music Festival in Clinton, Arkansas on November 1st of 2025. This isn't just a festival, it's a call to action. We're keeping the voices of Appalachia alive, making sure their needs are heard loud and clear. Bring supplies, donate funds, or simply show up to stand with us. Together, we can rebuild what Helene tore apart. Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia, you are not alone. The spirit of Appalachia runs deep, and together, we'll rise again. Join us at the Ozark Moonshine and Music Festival 2025. Show the world that we care. Show them the strength of our mountains. The Moonshine Militia and the Appalachian United Initiative are here for the long haul. Let's rebuild homes, restore hope, and show Appalachia they'll never be forgotten. Join us at the Ozark Moonshine and Music Festival 2025. Together, we will make a difference.